So I want to talk about the mighty angel with the little book. Revelation chapter 10. I saw still another mighty angel coming down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head. His face was like the sun, and his feet like pillars of fire. He had a little book opened in his hand, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. When he cried out, seven thunders uttered their voices. Now when the seven thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, seal up the things while the seven thunders uttered, and do not write them. The angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised up his hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it. And there should be delay no longer. But in the days of the sounding of the seventh angel, when he is about to sound, the mystery of Yahuwah would be finished, as he declared to his servants, the prophets. Now I'm going to tell you, this is that time, you guys. When John speaks about eating the little book, now this is in Revelation again, chapter 10. So 8 through 10 says, then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me again and said, go, take the little book, which is open in the hand of the angel, who stands at the sea on the earth. And I went to the angel and said to him, give me the little book. And he said to me, take and eat it, and it will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. Then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter. And he said to me, you must prophesy against, and he said to me in verse 11, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. Listen, everyone, this is that time. This is that time in Revelation. I am out, so excuse me the background. I want to make sure there was no extra noise at this moment. I am showing you a beautiful flower, but the Most High's creation. Look at how beautiful these flowers are right in front of all these buildings. I see all this land where I'm at, residing right now, and it's as though nothing's being used. All this land is out here. Everyone is taking advantage of all this land, these business owners and these facilities, and nothing is for those that need to lay their head somewhere, be somewhere. The reason why I'm bringing this up is it says, again, John, prophesy these things to these nations, tongues, people. These are the times where these things will come about again. The prophetic word that prophets are speaking. You know, there's going to be a lot of false teaching, a lot of those false preachers, false teachers saying, oh, no, you're not to preach this right now. You're not to teach this right now. You're not to say anything right now. Because right now is not the time for you to speak on it. Mainly because why? They don't want you speaking on it because of the fact that it's going to what? Take away their abundance, their lies, their deception, everything that they have going on. They're not able to just give a prosperity word or something that isn't of correction. So with that being said, this takes us into part of what I was saying a moment ago in the last video, if you haven't seen it or listened to it. But the scripture that the Most High said, he said, war will happen. This is war in the United States. He said, America, prepare for battle. Prepare for battle. August 6, 2020 at 11:55 a.m. War will happen. It is imminent that judgment is happening based on what the Most High is telling us. He has his bowl of judgment. And again, I will get more into this about the angel of death, the spirits, everything else that's taking place, good and evil, for us to help get through these last days. Now, the beginning of these last days, I want to say, let's see, this would be So John chapter 5, 5 through 17. And again, I had asked if you wanted to go ahead and take a look at that. But John 5, 5 through 17 is talking about honor the Father and the Son. This is specifically talking about the Sabbath, okay? I'm going to tell you, there is healing in the Sabbath. There is healing in the Sabbath. There is healing, holiness in the Sabbath. There is holiness in the Sabbath. So if you are going about, as John 5 verse 7 says, the sick man answered him, Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I am coming another step down before me, Yahusha said to him, Rise, take your bed and walk. Right now, there's a lot of, there's leprosy. There is flesh being removed from sickness, from death, from spirits, from bondage, from all of these areas that the Most High has repeatedly spoken to us, especially on Sabbath. And so you see organizations going out here with guns and thinking that that's going to stop anything from taking place. That's earthly. That's the earthly desire to arm yourself. And I'm not saying, it says in the word, take your cloak, right? If you had to sell it for a sword, okay? But what's happening is organizations just talking about just guns, but they're not of the Most High. They do not have the Most High directing them with the sword of the Spirit of no fear. Okay, that doesn't mean if you have the spirit of no fear that you just go out with guns all the time. No. War will take place. The civil war, the war will take place. It's already begun. It's going to happen in a lot of fractions. It will happen regardless of who's walking with a gun, who's locked and loaded, who's, has whatever gun they have on them for protection. I'm not saying not to protect yourself. However, in these last days, prophets will receive extra understanding. They will receive prophetic word. It says that I will pour out to all nations. I will pour out to those on the land all that I want to be said. So when John eats the little book, when John says the seals, it will be opened at some time. The angel says, wait. There'll be a time to reveal it. The Most High will give you more prophetic word, more prophecy, more understanding. And those seals would be open at some time, that he would need to prophesy to the nations, to the people, to all tongues, in all nationalities of speaking in native tongue, different languages. So this is going to happen regardless. And so what I want to just encourage you is to know, we never want to be in fear, ever. Never have that spirit of fear, whether there's war or not. There's been war since the beginning of time. What I did see as well, I want to tell you, back on the 6th when I had these other visions that I'm going to be talking about, there was also Nephilims. Nephilims were running about the streets, and they were directing people like puppets, almost like a zombie type apocalypse. And they were directing them like puppets. Okay, similar to what I was saying about being in the deep state, but this was actual Nephilims, giants, which I have actually had to kill before in the spirit with a sword. And I have been with Michael and Gabriel, and I've had to go on these missions. And yes, they're huge. Yes, they're ugly. And there was a certain way to completely destroy them. I'm going to go ahead and go. Agape love to you. And again, just keep all this in mind. And I will be going on with the next video within the next couple days. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Shalom.